blocking, dodging, rolling, and throwing. To block, you can hold the L or R button. While you block, a shield appears around your character, but it shrinks over time. If you actually block an attack, it shrinks even faster. And if your shield runs out, you get guard broken, or shield broken as it's called, and the opponent can do anything he wants to you. So don't let that happen. This means you shouldn't try to block too much, and if your shield is getting low, try to maneuver away for a moment to let it recharge. In this example, blocking the 2-hit sequence from Marth results in you getting guard broken. But avoiding the second hit allows you to be safe, and even to retaliate. When your shield shrinks, it also protects your character less and less. Notice how a big shield is able to block Snake's down+A sweep attack. But if your shield is smaller, even though you're holding the block button, you'll still get hit by that same attack. In any fighting game, when you block an attack, you are briefly stuck in block before you can move or attack again. This necessary mechanic is called block stun. In Smash Bros., block stun is shorter than in most other fighting games. What this means is that even though blocking has all these drawbacks that I've just talked about, it's actually really powerful. You can block an attack, and often you'll be able to hit the opponent back before his move recovers. Or you can block and throw the opponent guaranteed sometimes. So while it's dangerous to block too much, you really should learn how to block and retaliate, because it often gets you guaranteed damage. Perfect shielding. Right when you press the block button, you have a very small window of time where your shield is more powerful. If you block an attack during this time, meaning you press that block button right at the last moment before the incoming attack touches you, then we call that perfect shielding. When you perfect shield an attack, your shield doesn't get smaller like it usually would, and also you're not stuck in block stun at all, so you can retaliate immediately. And finally, you don't get pushed back by the attack. Perfect shielding is similar to parrying in other fighting games. It lets you block and then hit back if you have very good timing. Watch what happens when you try to block Donkey Kong's forward smash with a normal block. You're too far away to hit him back afterwards. And now watch what happens if you perfect shield that same attack. You can't block while you're in the air, but pressing the block button in this case will cause you to do an air dodge. This makes you completely invulnerable for a short time, and it's an important option to keep in mind because when you're trying to get back to a platform, it's one of your main ways of making it back to safety. Also note that in the previous game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, after you did an air dodge, your character entered a blinky state, where you were forced to fall and you couldn't take any other actions until you land. But in Smash Bros. Brawl, you don't have that restriction. In fact, you can air dodge, and then after the recovery period, you can even air dodge again. You can also dodge while you're on the ground. While blocking, push down on the control stick to dodge. One use of the dodge is if the enemy is coming down with a powerful attack, you can dodge to avoid it, and then hit them back while they're still recovering. Another option you have while blocking is rolling. To roll, hold left or right of the control stick while you're blocking. If you roll forward, you have a very brief vulnerability period at the beginning, but then most of the roll is invulnerable until the very end when it's vulnerable again. You can go through all sorts of attacks with the roll, and it lets you advance towards the enemy through projectiles or other attacks. Remember that your backwards roll starts out totally invulnerable, so it can go through Bowser's fire here at a time when a forward roll wouldn't. Throwing is our last technique from block. You can perform a throw while you're holding block, and then press the A button. You can also throw by pressing the Z button, which is a little easier because it only involves one button press instead of holding the block button and the A button. Some players like to map their throw button to either X or Y also, so it keeps it within easier reach. You can throw opponents as long as they're close enough, even if they're blocking. Once a throw connects, you have 5 different ways to finish it. You can press A multiple times to pummel them, or you can push the control stick in any of the 4 cardinal directions to get 4 more different endings to your throw. Each option has its own advantages. For example, with Ness, his back throw is powerful enough that it can kill at high percentages, but most throws can't. His down throw leads to combos, or it can also leave Ness in a good situation where the opponent must guess to either air dodge or not. If the opponent doesn't air dodge, you can hit them. They might try to air dodge to avoid it, but Ness can counter that by doing a delayed down+A attack in the air instead. Finally, Ness's forward throw pushes the opponent fairly far, so throwing them off the edge leads to a favorable position. You have to keep the terrain in mind when deciding which throw to do also. For example, Meta Knight and Kirby's up throws have a lot more killing potential if there's a platform above them. Wolf's down throw can throw the enemy off the stage at a downward angle if he's near the edge. And Donkey Kong can carry people around and throw them into obstacles. There's one throw that warrants special mention, and that's King Dedede's so-called chain throw. Against 5 characters, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Mario, Luigi, and Samus, he can do a true infinite sequence with repeated down throws. It's easiest against Donkey Kong, while against Mario you have to stick in a couple pummels each time to get the loop to work. Against many other characters, he can't quite infinite them, but he can repeat the down throw over and over until he reaches the edge of the stage. It's a deadly technique.